Welcome to BON News. I'm Hala Mohiuddin. Coming up, a new initiative in Shanghai aims at pushing research and development into new sustainable business technology. And we look at how China's rail authorities aim to foil ticket scalpers over the New Year holiday period. First, though, let's get you up to date with the headlines. As news from Haiti continues to filter out, there's still no word on Chinese casualties in the major earthquake which rocked the capital, Port-au-Prince, last night. A detachment of 125 Chinese riot police are serving on the island as part of the UN stabilisation force based there. The 8th riot squad arrived in Haiti in June of this year for an 8-month deployment. The country has had a police presence in Haiti since the UN force moved into the Caribbean island over 5 years ago. The United Nations headquarters was one of scores of buildings that were toppled in the 7.0 strength quake. The UN in New York says many staff members are unaccounted for. Google has warned it may pull out of China after discovering that computer hackers there had targeted the company. The US-based search engine has also said it will stop censoring search results on its Chinese site. A blog post by the company's chief legal officer, David Drummond, said the company detected a highly sophisticated and targeted attack on its corporate infrastructure originating from China. He added that the attackers' main goal was to access the Gmail accounts of Chinese human rights activists. Drummond said the attacks, combined with attempts over the past year to further limit free speech on the web, had led the company to review the feasibility of its operations in China. He said Google would now discuss with the Chinese authorities whether it could operate an uncensored search engine in that country. Google entered the China market in 2006, agreeing to introduce a censored search engine. Its share of the market is around 20%, while Chinese rival Baidu has around 75%. Meanwhile, Google has pulled out of talks with the Chinese government-affiliated Writers Group. The US firm was supposed to produce a complete list of the Chinese books it had scanned for its online library without authorization. The withdrawal by the California-based internet giant followed a formal apology over its poor communication with Chinese authors and a promise to work out a settlement with them by March. Zhang Hongbo, Deputy Secretary General of the China Written Works Copyright Society, said that yesterday Google announced it wanted to postpone the talks but did not specify to what date. According to the Copyright Society, nearly 18,000 books by Chinese authors had been added to Google Books without permission from the authors in a controversial project to digitize books and post them online. Hackers from China and Iran have been involved in tit-for-tat cyber attacks after a popular Chinese search engine, Baidu.com, was apparently attacked by Iranian government supporters. The search engine's homepage was defaced with the message, "This site has been hacked by the Iranian cyber army." It also posted an Iranian flag on the site. A Baidu spokesman said the hackers changed Baidu's domain name system records from its US registrar and redirected traffic to another site. Angry Chinese hackers have fought back and attacked at least 8 Iranian websites. One Iranian government website was covered with the Chinese flag and English phrases including "We are Chinese hackers, long live the People's Republic of China." Meanwhile, Chinese residents in Iran say they have been unable to visit Chinese portals after websites allegedly denied them access, fearing further attacks from Iran. Chinese President Hu Jintao has insisted that no corrupt official is above the law or Communist Party discipline. Addressing a session of the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection, or CCDI, the party's anti-graft body, Hu said greater efforts must be made to investigate cases of power abuse, corruption and embezzlement, and dereliction of duty. He also called for strengthening ties between the party and the people and said public complaints should be addressed properly. Warning that no one has special privileges above the law, Hu insisted that anti-graft regulations should be implemented across the board, especially amongst middle and high-level officials. In a recent survey in China, corruption was highlighted as the #1 public concern. China has confirmed that it successfully tested a missile intercept system earlier this week. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Jiang Yu said China had conducted a test of ground-based mid-range missile interception technology within its territory, which achieved its objective. She added that the test was defensive in nature and was not targeted at any other country and was consistent with the country's national defense policy. Meanwhile, the US Department of Defense said that Beijing did not notify the US in advance of the missile defense test and that Washington had asked Beijing to clarify its intentions with the intercept weaponry. A rarely seen 400-year-old map has gone on display at the US Library of Congress in Washington. The map was created by Italian Jesuit missionary Matteo Ricci and was the first in Chinese to show the Americas. Ricci created the map in 1602 at the request of Emperor Wanli. It identifies Florida as the land of flowers and puts China at the centre of the world. The map includes pictures and annotations describing different regions of the world. The description of North America is brief, with mentions of humped oxen or bison, wild horses and a region named Ka-nan-ta. The map measures 12 feet by 5 feet and is printed on 6 rolls of rice paper. This is the first time it has been shown publicly in North America. There is no example of the map in China, and only a handful of original copies are known to exist throughout the world. And those are the BON headlines for now, but we'll be back with more news after this.